I think my biggest important tip, people, connect with your own heart and your own self and live from there.
Hello, everyone. Today I bring you another conversation with a fellow coach. Today I talk with Carla Jansen van Roosendaal. She is like me, a mother, but her children are young adults, not like mine who are teenagers. And we talk about motherhood today, but not just like any other mom, but as coaches, because we coach people who are grown-ups and we can see the impact that childhood and motherhood have on them as grown-ups, how setting boundaries is being learned as children, how risk-taking is learned as children, and how you as mother, as father, can save a lot of trouble to your children in the future. And we continue this conversation into practicalities of how you can improve your entire life at home and at work. Stress, risk taking, relationships. It turned out to be a very practical and inspired conversation. I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. Here you go. And we were talking about risk taking. I love the story that you told to me just right now. And let's kick off with that one, the story of the step and the little child.
Yeah, well, it's based on the fact that we as moms nowadays take over a lot of responsibilities for our kids, and we want to protect them really, really deep. The only setback is if we overprotect them, we take away a lot of their possibilities and their growth in later life. And they need that growth. They need to know where their boundaries are. They need to feel them. They need to be able to handle on them if somebody or themselves go over those boundaries. And I was just telling Blanca that well, years ago when my daughter was, she's 25 now, which was about 9 years old, and we were at a place, and it was this little step up. It was, well, very, very small. And there's this little kitty, could walk already, could see it was not 100% steady yet, but I mean, she was running around and everything. And she sees this little step up and she wants to climb on it just for fun. And I look at it and I think like, great, she is surging boundaries. She is climbing. Her body is getting used to things like that. Well, she started to go on there, and I hear this mom like, "No, don't do that. You might fall. Don't do that. You will fall." And she rushes to this kid and takes the kid off. And even my daughter, at 9 years old, she looks at me. She said, like, "Mom, that's crazy. Look at that. That kid can't even play there. That's not good. That kid needs to play. She needs to know how it is." And I'm kind of like, cannot say anything else than you're right. That is way too much to take away from a kid. They need physically, if they can search physically for boundaries, their brain will develop boundaries even more and
Ah,
put that
yeah.
into a lot of sidetracks with other kinds of boundaries. They need to fall and get up. How do kids learn to walk? They fall and they get up hundreds of times.
Yeah.
What do a lot of parents do? Their kid falls one time. Oh my God. And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
let it fall again. So it learns where the boundary is, what to do to get up. Because that's
Yeah.
life. A lot of
Because that's
times you have
life.
to get up. You have to
Because
learn that.
I think you must have it as well, Carla. We are both coaches,
Yes.
and I see so many grown-ups that they don't know how to put boundaries. They do not know how to persist. They do not know why don't we help our children not have the experiences that we're having now as grown-ups. This week I've been very interested in the goddesses and the divine, and I came across specifically the Virgin Mary. And the Virgin Mary, for me, is such a great example of motherhood. The Virgin Mary had a very big job. She had Jesus Christ, like God Himself. But God Himself, he was going to be killed at the end of the story. She knew it. And if she wanted to protect him, she wouldn't have let him go out. But instead of doing that, she brought him to his first assignment. That's the weddings at Cana. So she pushed him. She nudged him a little bit, was leading from behind. And she did not stop him from the big sacrifice that he made. And this we should take it as an example. Children of mine, you go to the risk of life because we know that at the end you will die, because everybody in this planet will die. Because it's not the fact that we're here born to die, but what are we going to do in the middle? We have to do our work. We have to do our contribution.
Yes, but how can we contribute if we don't know what we can contribute? If we are made fearful to take steps, if we are made fearful to take risks, I mean, that's where we will not learn. We need to learn. We need to make mistakes, because from every mistake we make, we learn something. And it makes us to grow and makes us better at things. It makes us that things will go easier, that we get confidence, self-confidence and confidence in that things will work out if we put effort into it. That if we fall, there's always something to get up for again. But we need to learn all that. And as a mom, I think, as a dad also, let's not forget the dads in here. So they have the same role too. So, but we need to let them find those things out by just letting them take risks, fall, get up, ask help, even that. How many people do not dare to ask help? So as a kid, if you learn to ask help, great. You dare to do it as an older person also.
Yeah, absolutely. The example that I was sharing with you before we press record was the fact that I got the children in the kitchen from almost babies, and that implies the stove and oil and big knives. And I have now teenagers, 11 and 13, and particularly he cuts like a chef without looking. And for us, it's totally normal in this little household. But we had visitors, and everybody was like, oh, "My mother never let me get close to the knives because." And I think maybe because I'm Mexican, and I have met so many men in their 40s who call their mom because they do not know how to fill in the blank, and I just didn't want that for my children. You learn now to cook. You learn now how to wash. You learn how to do a budget, how to use Excel. Now, when is it going to be?
It's actually teach them life, how to live instead of geography and math and history. I mean, I'm not saying they're not important, but for me, they're less important than teach my kids how to live a life that they enjoy, and all the aspects that are there on a regular basis in life. How to deal with those kind of things. So, but yeah, the system is still different in that, and a lot of parents go with that. They find that more important, that you have like big grades but know nothing about life.
Now I'm thinking about my husband. He came up with that, and maybe we can expand it, export it.
Yeah, what's that? Come
Here,
on.
here in the Netherlands, for all the people who are not from the Netherlands, there is a lot of water. So everybody should know how to swim. And we have diploma A, B, C, D, and I don't know how many other diplomas with different skills that you need to know to swim. If you fall in the canal and you are dressed, you need to be able to swim. So my husband invented the diploma for cycling. So you cycle so many kilometers, you get A. You cycle so many kilometers, in these other conditions, B, and like that. And the last diploma is you cycle by yourself so many kilometers alone, and you buy something, you negotiate, and you come back with something. And
Nice.
and it's so cool. One day, the children knew the rules, and one day, each one of them did it the same. They said, now I'm going to, for my diploma of cycling number D, or the letter D. And they just cycled, and they went and bought, and they came back with, whatever it was that they bought. But yeah, you can copy us in your country. And
Yeah.
see what is the challenge. I don't know. Maybe it can be knives for you, or using the oven, or making phone calls, or doing a budget.
Yeah, because people, I mean, it's really nice because that's how kids love to learn if they get oh gosh, can't get to the English words,
A
beloning?
diploma,
No.
yeah, exactly. A gift, or a,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, at
absolutely.
least they get a compliment, a
Yeah.
positive reaffirmation,
Hmm.
whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they
And it,
get something positive back from that, and that's what they want. I mean, even if it's like if you make a diploma yourself, I mean, that doesn't matter. For them, it's an achievement, and they applaud themselves for that, and we applaud for them. And of course, it doesn't have to be like, oh, you are so great. No, you don't have that. But just like, the confirmation that you're done well and you've done something again, you reached another goal. And yeah, I think that's how we teach people, especially kids, to go for goals and
yeah,
do everything to reach them. Have a goal in
yeah,
life. It can be this small or it can be that big. It doesn't matter, but have a goal. Because the mind, how I look at it, the energy of the universe also, as soon as you set a goal, that's where everything starts working towards that goal. If you don't have a goal, it's like, you have your we call them tom, those
hmm
where you can put in where you want to go. It's like, okay, bring me to a nice place. That thing has no clue what to do. And so you keep driving, but you're going everywhere, but not where you want to go. So you need to have a goal.
yeah,
So everything in you, around you, can work towards that goal. And that's what we
yeah.
teach as a kid. Then if we
Yeah.
have something like that, like the bicycle diploma, I love that.
Yeah, it's funny. And you bring me to another thing that I have problems in my practice with my clients. I work with grown-up women. That I ask them this question: I want blank, but blank. And in my naivete, I thought that people knew I want blank. I want money, I want a husband, I want whatever. And they were constricted by the restriction of the bot. But no, what I have found in my practice is that they don't even know I want. Many people cannot structure their thinking on what is the goal for
Yeah.
different reasons, because I feel myself so small that I cannot dream of big things, but also because of confusion, because the world is offering so many options that it's difficult to use our own discernment to choose, this is what I want. And this could be so useful for mothers to help their children to learn, to tell them, you decide. You
Yes.
decide, are you having
Think.
cake or cookie? You decide. Am I having lemonade or milk? You decide. What am I going to wear today? You decide. And to their level, I mean, 5, 10, 20, 30, 50.
Yeah, but I mean, how many people, if you ask like just a simple question, what do you want to eat? I don't know. I don't care. Doesn't matter. And they always, when somebody said something like that, I said, "Oh, that's sold out in the store. I can't do that." So yeah, because I mean, you have to think of something, make it
Yeah.
something you like. Go train that brain to think of what you want, what you like, what you love, things like that.
Oh,
But all
so
those
good.
answers, I don't know. I mean,
I don't know.
that's
Whatever.
that's yeah, that's where you
Whatever.
do not have to think. So
Uh,
yeah, next time just say, "Oh, that's sold out." And
That's all
first
that.
time,
I love it. I have a story about that. It's really funny. There is a story of a mother that has two daughters, and she asked, "What do you want for breakfast?" And the girls say, "Whatever." So she went to the kitchen, she opened two eggs and put them on a plate and gave it to them. And but why did you give me raw eggs? Raw eggs. Well, you ask whatever, you
whatever.
get whatever, and you deserve whatever.
Yep, I love
Uh,
that too. Yep.
I think this is the way we live with life, deal with life. We complain about what we're getting in life, but we ask whatever. So life gives us whatever.
Yeah, and what we do a lot of times, what I see with my clients is they have all these negative thoughts, all these negative beliefs, unconscious or conscious. And it's so easy then to say, I don't know, or to go from those old negative beliefs instead of thinking in opportunities like, oh, but I cannot do this, or I cannot do that. I had this experience, so I cannot go that way, even though going that way still has like lots of different other ways you can go, other directions. So, and was last time with a client, she also was like, I just don't know what I want in life, what I like. So I set her down, close your eyes, and I was going on a visualization with her, asking questions, just going inside, having the right questions there, go deeper inside. After that, she knew exactly what she wanted. You know, we have the answers inside.
Yeah.
Nobody has to tell us the answer. We just have to go inward, ask a few questions, and what's deep in there, just let it come up, let it come out. It's a lot of times if people go inside and you help them with a few questions, they know exactly what they want or what's inside or what's blocking them.
Mm. Yeah, totally. So true.
But yeah,
Because we live in this world of looking for the answers outside, and we end up in comparing, in copying, and then we end up adrift and frustrated, doing things that we don't like. And oof, no, it's time to. I think this brings me to a point that you mentioned before, that we need to learn ourselves and to teach our children to ask for help, because that is the one thing that your client did well from the start, that she asked your help.
yeah, because so how many people do you encounter who easily ask for help?
Mm, no, no,
Hardly anyone. So if
no.
but I think it's also as a parent that we should not only teach our kids to ask for help, but we have to be the right example as well.
You
Because
bet.
kids, they copy. So if
Yeah.
you ask for help, even you can ask them for help. Just small thing, hey, can you help me with this or that? Or do you know an answer on this or that? Show between with whatever your family, your spouse, whoever, ask for help. Show them that asking for help is very normal. If you
Yeah.
don't know it, simply ask it. So much
Yeah.
easier than finding out the hard way. And there's nothing wrong with finding out the hard way, but at the same time, why make it harder than necessary?
Yeah. Like, one of the things that I have learned about asking for help is giving the opportunity to the other person to love you.
Yeah, love that one.
Ah,
Yes,
one of the
definitely.
exercises I do with my daughter's 11, is that I ask her, what shall I wear today? Do
Love
you
that.
think
Yep.
this is okay? And we play with that, and we have fun. And that's also important, that sometimes I do not follow her advice.
But that is
It-
important.
it's not that she's in control, but she's allowed to be the advisor. It's a way of loving each other and creating boundaries as well.
Yeah, but isn't that also a mistake that we sometimes make as a coach? That people ask for help and we say, I do hear that happening. It's like, oh, you need to do that. And then people don't do it. And then sometimes coaches are like, yeah, but I told you. Well, maybe you should not have told them what to do. You should have
Mm,
asked them, what do you think? What comes up in you, what you can do? Because
mm,
whatever helps me doesn't help you,
yeah, you
doesn't
bet.
have to help you. And that's
You
when a kid already learns, like, hey, there's ask the help asked. But then when I give an answer, somebody starts thinking about, does that fit me? With clothing, it's literally, does
bet.
that fit me? Yes or no? So yeah,
Oh, I love it.
that's a
Does
good
it fit me?
example.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. I think a lot of coaches make the mistake by telling people it has to be done this way or that way.
Yeah.
Again, we have the
Yeah.
answers in us. We just need
Yeah.
somebody sometimes to help them to get those out by asking
I,
questions.
I could even argue that that's the biggest problem there is in the industry. So many people who call themselves coaches, they tell you that they have the process. If you follow my process 1, 2, 3, and then you are going to have the result. And especially now, thinking about business coaches. If you follow this process, you will find the answer. And this is wrong in so many ways, because you don't understand. It might not fit with the personality of the person. It
Right.
might not fit with the circumstances of the person, with the industry, etc. Um,
Yep. An introvert is going around with things completely different than an extrovert, for example.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And that leads all of us to disconnect our wisdom, both our intelligence and our God,
Yes.
and disregard that, just to follow the steps, and it's very dangerous.
I think it's very, very dangerous because, again, back to the clothes, where they say one size fits all. Well, try some stuff on, one size fits on. When you're having more kilos than a regular person, it doesn't. And it's the same with coaching. It's the same with going around with problems. There's a very nice, I don't know if you ever heard about it, The Light and Shadow of Coaching from Tunde
Oh,
Erdas. She has done worldwide interviews and research on the plus and the minus on coaching. It's
ooh,
very, very interesting. It's 3 episodes. And she's actually, the great thing with that is that all the money, because you pay small amount of money for those, but it all goes into a coaching project for people in, I think it's South Africa or South of America, I don't know, somewhere where she helps women to become their own entrepreneur. So that's really great. All the money goes into that, and she coaches those people. She does it for free and everything. So,
oh,
but it's so interesting about all these positives and negatives about the coaching industry.
yeah,
How many people are, oh, I have that experience, so that's how I help people. I think that's not a good thing. So,
no, no.
but yeah, but that's the same. I mean, otherwise you could say like, hey, we need to parent our kids that and that way. That's the way. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, there's no difference in character in these kids. No, not all. There's no difference between boys and girls and how you go around with it. I mean, that's also not one size fits all. Every kid is different in how you have to let them grow up. So,
Absolutely. This is what I have been finding with my children. I've noticed that it's the most difficult thing I have ever done, spiritually, emotionally, professionally, psychologically. I don't know. Because it's not just that he is different than she. Is she in the morning is different than she in the evening, or he last year is different than he this year. Is so I feel deeply that motherhood and parenting in general, also it applies for men, but talking about myself, motherhood is a big exercise in being present, in mindfulness. It's almost like martial arts. When do you push? When do you wait? When do you hold? When are you, if you wish, a bit more aggressive? It is a game that really expands your life. I find it
it is,
so exciting.
but it's also like really start trusting your guts, your intuition, see what you normally can't see, hear what's not being said, things like that. And that's, I mean, I think motherhood is as I experience, it's the biggest growth lesson I ever could and can make. I think it will until I die, as long as I'm a mom, I will grow in it. So I'll make my
Mm.
mistakes. I did. I still will do, but I'll learn from them. So
Mm.
it's the biggest challenge.
Ah, oh, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen in the audience, we are going to say goodbye, but you will tell me, was that a great idea to have this conversation with Carla? Do you want us to have a conversation again? What about? Please type it in the comments. And before we cut the recording, Carla, just connect with your intuition and tell us the last thing that we need to hear before we say goodbye.
I think my biggest important tip, people, connect with your own heart and your own self and live from there.
Oh, how perfect. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Carla, for being here. Thank you.
Thank you, Blanca, and see you all back.